Well, welcome back. We're going to be talking today about fractions and decimals. Now, really, our purpose here is simply to recognize simple fractions or decimals. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly. I do want to do a little bit of long division. If you remember how to do long division, it's been a while since you've done it. All right. But what's 1 divided by 2? Well, if we think about doing long division, you should know how to do this. All right. 2 goes into 1. Well, you can't do that, so you put so you have to add 0 out here. 2 goes into 10. Well, you have to put a decimal point up there, 0.5. Okay, so you end up with no remainder. All right, so your answer is 0.5. Now, if you plug 1/2 into a calculator, you're just going to get 0.5. And what's half of a dollar? Well, it is 0.5. It's 50 cents. So all of this should make sense to you. All right, and I'm hoping you recognize that 1/2 is the same as 0.5. Same thing for 1/4. All right, if I do this, this is 4 goes into 1. I put a 0 up there. 4 goes in twice. That's an 8. I have 2 left over. I have to bring down another 0, and so 4 goes into 25 times, so it's 0.25. So if I plug this into a calculator, I do get 0.25, and 1/4 is the same as a quarter. What's a quarter? Well, it is 25 cents. All right. So what's 2/4? Well, you should be able to do the same thing with 2/4. How many times does 4 go into 2? Well, we can do that in long division. 4 goes into 2. Well, we bring down, put in a 0, 0.0, and 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So the answer there is 0.5 or 50 cents or 1/2. If you remember, if you have 2/4, 2 will go into 2 once and 2 will go into 4 twice. So your answer there is 1/2. What's half of a dollar? What's 2/4? Well, it is 50 cents. All right, so you should be able to reduce fractions as well. 3/4, I'm not going to go through it. 3/4 of a dollar is 3/4, so that's 0.75. How about 1/5? Again, I'm not going to do all the long division. That's 0.2. Right? You should recognize that 0.2 times 5 gives you a total of 1. So your answer here is 0.2, right? 20 cents. 2/5 would be 40 cents. If 1/5 is 20 cents, 2/5 would be 40 cents. 3/5 would be 60 cents. 4/5 would be 80 cents. And what would 5/5 be? Well, that would be a dollar, or it would be 1. So 5/5, anything over itself is always 1. These are fractions that you should recognize. All right. Now 1/3, if you do 1/3, the problem is this is a repeating number. So it's going to be 0.33333, and it just keeps going on forever. All right. Now if you did that as just trying to divide in, and you were doing long division, right? Let me find my cursor, sorry. 3 goes into 1. Well, it doesn't go into 1, so we do 10. So it'll go in 3 times, and that gives us 9. And that gives us 1. So we bring down another 0, and we get 3, and that gives us 9. And we bring down another 1, and that, etc., etc., etc. So this is going to continue on forever. All right, so it's going to give you 0.33333 recurring, and it goes on forever. What's 1/3 of a dollar? Well, you can't have exactly that. It's 33 1/3 cents. All right, so you have to be kind of careful with that because it does go on forever. Now, sorry, if you were going to do 2/3, that would be 0.666666. So it just keeps on going again forever. Right? Reducing fractions, you should know how to reduce fractions. Right? You should be very comfortable reducing fractions. If I look at 4 and 6, 4 will go into both of those numbers. So 4 goes into 4 once, and 4 goes into 16 4 times, so that's 1/4. If I look at this, I will notice that 2 goes into both of those. So if I divide 4 by 2, I get 2. If I divide 10 by 2, I get 5. 3/12, 3 goes into both of them. 3 goes into 3 once, it goes into 12 4 times. 18 and 45, you might not see that immediately, but 9 will go into both of them. But if you only did 3 at a time, all right, let's say you did 3 goes into 18, well, that gives you 6. And 3 goes into 45, well, that gives you 15. Right? You say, well, oh, gee, I noticed that 3 still goes into that. So I take 3 and put it into 6, and that gives me 2. And I put 3 and put it into 15, and that gives me 5. So I could have just reduced by dividing both numbers by 9, but if I didn't see that, I can still get there one piece at a time. So there are certain things you must notice, and you must know on site. You must know that 1/2 is 0.5. You must know that 1/3 and 2/3 are 0.333 and 0.666. Okay, and those recur forever. All right. Looking down at the quarters, 1/4 is 0.25, 1/2 is 0.5, and 3/4 is 0.75. You also have to know that with your fifths, that 1/5 is 0.2, 2/5 is 0.4, etc., all the way until you get to anything over itself is 1. Right? Those you need to recognize. Now you'll have a short worksheet on this, right, which you should do, and then you can go and take your test again. But if you need to memorize those, so commit them to memory. Whichever ones you don't know, commit them to memory. And I'll see you in class. Have a good day.